Melee is an old game. People have played this absolute mess for almost 25 years now, so maybe the idea of history being made kind of loses its luster when it seems to happen all the damn time. The biggest tournament series in Canada just passed a decade of running, and while yes, there were many memorable moments that have gone down at Get On My Level, it was at this one, GOML Forever, where, surprise surprise, history was made again. Today, we're going to talk about the many history-defining moments that went down to make this tournament so insanely sick. Because even now, after 25 years, this game still finds ways to surprise us. Into the AM has paid to be mentioned in this video. Hey, what's going on, guys? If you've been watching my channel for a bit, you probably already know how I feel about Into the AM, but I figured I should maybe do one of these like on camera, no green screen, organic, feels good type recording, so you guys really get the point. Into the AM is my longest standing partnership. I've been with them for over 2 years now, and it's my sincere hope that I can just stay partnered with them for like ever. You may be seeing me wearing some of these products in these videos that you're watching right now, or when I'm off being a commentator, or even out in my regular day-to-day. Their clothes are honestly great. I have unironically worn at least one Into the AM item every single day since beginning my partnership with them in 2023. I love wearing comfy clothes when I'm editing all day, and these tanks are almost always in my rotation. This isn't really meant to be a sales pitch or anything, so I'll throw my affiliate link on the screen now if you've made it this far into the ad. That'll give you 10% off your order and also give me a small kickback as well, so thanks. Also, real quick, I want to thank you guys again for being so receptive to these ad spots in the first place. I know they're mostly an annoyance for you guys as viewers, but I try to be as transparent as I can when it comes to these, and it seems like you guys are genuinely taking a liking to some of the brands like Into the AM who have consistently supported me through the years, so yeah, thanks. Okay, that's it. Thanks again as always to Into the AM for supporting me in the channel, and I hope you enjoy today's video. So, GOML is a series that I really admire. I've covered almost its entire history in an hour-and-a-half long movie that's somewhere over here, but I also feel like I owe a lot to it since GOML 2022 was one of the first times I've ever had the chance to commentate at a major top 8. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I killed that shit. But yeah, me and Radar got lucky with some viral moments like the reverse pop-off or Moki's completely frivolous 9-shine edgeguard, but moral of the story here is just, I really like GOML. So it really bummed me out when I realized I wasn't gonna be able to go this year. But the good thing about me not being physically there was I got to get a much better top-down view of how the tournament was going, and I think that perspective is really important. The major storyline we had coming into this GOML was in the battle for rank 1. With Cody Schwab firmly in the lead at this point, the question came down to exactly who could even make a claim at this point. The obvious answer, of course, is Zane, but before we dive deeper into that, let's analyze our year so far. In 2025, there's only been 2 other major winners aside from Cody, Zane, and Hungrybox, each with 1. However, there were 3 more players who appeared in Grand Finals this year, adding in Moki, who took his first major at the end of 2024, alongside Joshman and Triff making their first appearances in Grand Finals ever. But let's dial that back even more, because I think there's a really interesting bit of history to unpack here. I recently made a video detailing just how difficult it is to win a major tournament, with only 22 players in the game's history to do so, but in it I mentioned that even appearing in a Grand Finals is a monumental feat in itself. And going further down, just getting to the podium is also quite rare. From GOML 2024 to now, there have been 8 first-time Winners Finals appearances by brand new players, meaning on 8 separate occasions, a new player was guaranteed at least 3rd at a major level event. I shouldn't have to elaborate on that, but that is completely insane. GOML Forever also introduced a new player in Winners Finals, of course, and with it came some other fun history, but I'll talk more on that in a bit. This idea of a high volume of newcomers as major Dark Horse contenders is honestly one of the most defining statistics of this year, so much so that my friend Edwin Budding devoted an entire segment detailing it in his latest column. Anyway, circling back to the matter at hand. We're now in the back half of 2025, and with Cody firmly ahead of the pack for major victories, does anyone even have a chance to surpass him? Well, if Cody ended up winning this tournament, I don't think you'd be crazy to assume the answer to that was no. But he got 5th, his worst placement of this year, with some rather surprising losses. I'll talk more about those in a second as well, but the point is, with Cody out at 5th, the door was wide open for opportunity. Before we get into the top cut, we should quickly go over all of the craziness that ensued to get us there, since this tournament was kind of defined more by top seeds who didn't make it to top 8. 3 of the most notable upsets from GOML came from a very unlikely character though, and no, it's not Donkey Kong this time. Luigi, a character that hasn't seen much of the spotlight in recent years with the exception of Eddie Mexico maybe, went on a tear in Toronto. His representatives here, Amp, Jawryden, and Rat Monster, all had very solid performances, with Rat Monster taking upsets on Preeminent and the 5th seed Crudo to qualify for Day 3. This made Rat Monster, who's literally like a kid by the way, the first Luigi player to make a Day 3 since Abate did it in his famous Big House 5 run. And he ultimately finished just outside of top 8, which marks the best major performance from a Luigi player post-pandemic. Crudo, who was upset by the Luigi menace, was eliminated by Sunsei, knocking out the second of our top 8 seeds. The first top 8 seed to go though was Nikki, who was eliminated at 33rd thanks to the bizarre Samus main Morse Code 762. Morse Code is a player who consistently has one of the weirdest resumes in terms of player ranking. In 2023, he beat Cody and Jmook, the second and third best players in the world, while only attending 7 events total for the year, with half of them being regional level or smaller. The dude's resume is honestly just strange, and because it's so strange, it's not all that surprising he was able to take another big win versus Nikki. But it didn't even stop there. The reason Crudo and Sunsei even faced off is because Morse Code sent Sunsei to losers, taking the 9th seed down to eventually flame out behind his seed as well. 2 other top 8 seeds would fall into losers during this phase, the 3rd seed Moki losing to Wizro, who was seeded 14th, and the 4th seed Hungrybox losing in a matchup that, to quote one of my commenters, would actually tear apart space-time. So, yeah, we should probably talk about the Jigglypuff in the room. Wait, what the fuck? Also, hi, it's me again. I know there was a lot more crazy stuff at this tournament than just this, but I do try to keep these pretty streamlined so I can, like, you know, not go insane working on these projects. If you made it this far into the video, though, I would assume you're enjoying the content, so it would mean a lot to me if you subscribed. These videos are honestly a lot of labor on a really tight turnaround, like I wrote and edited this entire thing in 2 days. So if you could help a brother out by making the number go up, that'd be great. So thanks. Also, I sell merch now. Yeah, that's it. Okay, self-promo over. Let's get back into the video. Yeah! Okay. So Hungrybox and SDJ, easily the 2 best current Jigglypuff players in modern Melee, faced off in a runback from last year's GOML, where HBox popped off so hard he almost leveled the city of Toronto. Perhaps fittingly, the name GOML Forever meant we would be watching these sets for what felt like forever, but honestly, these were the most hype matches of the entire event. Jigglypuff seemed to have this like unwritten code of honor where if one of them hits a rest, they both have to continue to chain rests together until the match ends. So despite SDJ being literally behind in this game, they commit to the bit which sets the wheels in motion for HBox to bring it to Game 5. While in similar fashion to last year's GOML, this time it went down to the final second, with HBox running away with a % lead. And for newer Melee fans at home, if the 8-minute timer runs out before all the stocks are taken, and both players have the same number of stocks, the player with less % wins the game. So HBox is currently winning. And down by 6, SGJ sends a Hail Mary forward air from underneath the stage to regain the % lead, then barely escapes HBox's pursuit to win the match.
Oh, 6%, that could be any hit. Any hit could even this up. Oh! SGJ, are you living? Are you living? Yeah! And at the very last moment, SDJ getting a stray hit under the battlefield, and HBox unable to get back, desperately climb back looking for a single hit. What a flip from last year, completely subverting every expectation that I am sure that I had, that the whole crowd had, that everybody at home had. What an upset.
This outcome made SDJ the first player in over 15 years to beat Hungrybox in a Jigglypuff mirror match, with the last one being Mango's Puff at pound 4 in 2010. SDJ then continued on this incredible run by beating Cody and claiming a spot in Winners Finals, becoming the first non-H-Box Puff player to take a set over Cody in over 7 years, and would eventually exit the tournament at 3rd place following a run back in Losers Finals against Hungrybox. And hey, remember how I said earlier that just making it to the podium at a Melee Major is like extremely rare? Well, this placement makes SDJ the first non-God Jigglypuff player to place top 3 at a Major since, here's another old school name for the real ones out there, Killa OR, who got 3rd at MLG Los Angeles in 2005, and that's just crazy! That is crazy, okay? As for Hungrybox, he went on a very impressive losers run to make it all the way back to Grand Finals against, you guessed it, Zane. So that brings us to our top 2 for GOML Forever, Hungrybox versus Zane. While we know Hungrybox was the one to make it into Grand Finals on the loser's side, how he got here was a pretty interesting path, because he had to fight SDJ in the Puff Ditto again, but he ended up beating Moki for 9th, Amsa for 7th, Joshman for 5th, Wizrobe for 4th, and SDJ for 3rd to reach Grand Finals. And I've already gone into pretty intense detail about what the matchup between these two players may look like in my most recent video, but the context of Hungrybox's win at Full House, snapping an almost 3-year-long streak to Zane, made me consider some of the new possibilities on Zane's side of the matchup. Chief among them, this man is insane.
Maybe a little fastball to get to the ledge.
Wait, Cody?
Cody's different? Cody, the runoff shine doesn't connect.
The
Sage,
fucking
no jump here.
boss is fucking
Wow. Look at him. Are you kidding me?
Like, Zane is just hungry. Like, this is the face of a maniac. And I do think he's probably one of the best in the business at adapting specifically after taking a loss. To support that, it didn't really look like Zane ran into any real issue at this tournament, never being taken to a Game 5. He 3-0'd Aklo's Link, a character that seemed to be a work in progress specifically for Zane, then got a 3-1 over Salt to qualify into top 8. After that, a 3-1 over Joshman secured a top 3 placement, and a subsequent 3-1 over SDJ got him into Grands. There were a lot of things I pointed out on Hungrybox's side in my latest video that described just how Jigglypuff has adjusted to the menace that is Zane, but because that video was told more from Hungrybox's perspective, I really didn't spend a lot of time talking about just how freakishly consistent Zane is. Before that Full House set, he did not lose to Hungrybox in almost 3 years, and what we witnessed at GOML made it feel like Zane was getting on his way back to another winning streak. After only a single set, their first 3-1 set since 2022 crowned Zane the 3-time champion of GOML. And his pop-off? A fucking cartwheel. Like, I'm so dead ass about this. He did a cartwheel. Frame 1, amazing frame data, by the way, but what is this pop-off economy that we live in? I don't get it. I'm done.
Hey, I like that.
Push it to a Game 5. There it is.
There's exactly what you're saying. That might be. I thought the roll-up was going to work too. I'm not going to lie.
Right, the missed time. No. Good DI. Doesn't get re-grabbed.
Insane.
Oh, no. You got some jumps, though.
Wait,
you got jumps.
He's got one more.
Dude, you crazy.
He's still living. No, he's not.
It's Zane taking it.
Oh,
3 times.
Bro did a cartwheel.
Bro did a cartwheel?
Bro did a cartwheel.
The 3-time GOML champion can also do cartwheels?
Yo, I really seen it all, bro.
There's something to be said about that stat line of from GOML 2024 to GOML 2025, we've had 8 first-time players appearing in Winners Finals. To peel that back even further, in the last 30 majors prior to this range, which dates back to 2022 by the way, only 3 newcomers have made it to the podium. I mean, yes, it plays into the entire thesis of my other video, that winning a Melee Major is really freaking hard, and even getting to Winners or Grand Finals isn't a walk in the park either. But 8 brand new faces getting a 3rd place or higher in a competitive title where only 22 people total have stood at the top in over 2 decades, that is an insane statistic, and it makes me really excited to see a game like Melee continue to be played competitively for many years to come. Once again, the beauty of history provides us with a very cool lens into the game of Melee. Zane, for any of his stumbles in 2025, has thoroughly re-entered the conversation for best in the world of this year, and if this year wasn't good enough, he should really start to be considered as one of the greatest to ever do it. With this victory, Zane etched in his 19th major win to his lifetime resume, which puts him within striking distance of Armada at 22. But such is the beautiful reality of Melee. Players may come and go, peaks and plateaus are bound to happen, but the history is what keeps us coming back. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you happen to be looking at a calendar, you can probably tell that this video had to come together very quickly, so if you could do me a favor and interact with it in some way, that'll make my lack of sleep all the more worthwhile. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm starting a quick analysis on SDJ's Puff, and I'm still working on a pretty enormous movie, which I hope you guys will like. It's kind of taken over my life since the start of the year, and I'm really excited for you guys to hopefully see it soon. This channel is funded by my Patreon and YouTube memberships. I recently changed the offerings over there so more people can get named in the credits. So, hey, thanks to Avishua Stein, Bobby Wasabi, Dark Gen X, Eric is Cool, Gustavo Cantu Fernandez, Henry Huang, Ian, Jazz the Pirate, Justin Duncan Mills, Kyle Carlin, Marshall Bradley, and Sam Wright. Alright, that's it. See ya.